Welcome back to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast.
We are back once again.
Coffee on hand.
Episode number 8, 2 away from 10. I don't know what's going to
10
happen at
away
10,
from
but
20.
it's like those. Have you seen those reels on Instagram where it's what's that guy's name? He's like a business bro, and he's like, if you got $100, 2x that shit, you get to $1,000, 2x that, and he keeps going. And he's like, 2x that, you got $1 billion. And people have been doing skits on it.
That's easy, man.
Easy as that, mate. So basically, we're going to do 1 billion episodes, probably by about next week.
We'll be doing it in our graves.
Yeah. Today's a follow-up from the last pod, pretty much. So
Was it the last pod?
was
Pod,
it
I think it was pod before.
pod before last? We
Jesus,
talked about
that's
flown by, hasn't
flown
it?
by. Got my wire
Yeah,
around.
we talked about should you bulk, should you cut, and we talked about the whole process of dieting. So now, given it's coming up to October,
The winter arc.
the winter arc
Have
is
you
indeed
seen all
here.
that on Instagram? So many people are getting so angry about, like, I keep seeing all the BBs being like, it's not a fucking winter
Oh,
arc.
really?
Like, you should just work hard all year round. It's like, I get what they're saying, but
I don't like to put my feelings towards what I like to do onto other people.
Yeah. It happens so much on Instagram now. Like, I'm not going to out
Yeah.
people, but I can think of one person so in particular. You'll know who he is, but
Yeah.
you won't know off the top of your head who I'm on about. Every day they like have some complaint about what they're seeing someone do, or like, why do people care
don't
that
know.
much?
Like, even-
like, just let them get on with it.
I will push my own knowledge about why certain things are beneficial.
Yeah,
But like, if you don't want to train, like, I don't care.
Yeah,
don't
just don't
train.
train. I'm not gonna
don't
come
be
for
into
you.
fitness. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I still like you just as much as a person.
I think as well when they put that stuff on, like, surely I'm not the only person who's looking at thinking, like, you're a bit of a blend.
Yeah.
Like, what
Just
you
do what
doing?
you want.
Just let people
It does
chill.
happen in person though as well. I think like generally the fitness industry. This is tangent already. Sorry.
Yeah, we've
You know,
already
like
off.
if you're on a plane flight sat next to someone, or you're somewhere social, and you pull out like a protein bar,
Yeah,
and they've got like maybe their plane flight meal, and they go, "Oh yeah, this is a bit unhealthy, this, isn't it?" It's like, not really. It's fine.
yeah. It's
You
like
can have it.
one meal isn't gonna.
Just because I'm having a protein bar,
Yeah,
or on the opposite side of things, people, because we're into fitness, people come up to us and go, "Oh, you shouldn't be eating that, should you?"
yeah. Why don't you just have some normal
Can
food?
do.
It's like, who cares? Just let
Doesn't
people
really
do
matter.
what they want to do.
Yeah. But anyway,
Winter arc.
this pod is about the winter arc, setting up a gaining phase, how to do it, how to pack on as much muscle as possible, and then we'll answer some questions at the end because we've actually got a few questions from today's pod. So, yeah, let's kick it off. Today's date, October the 1st, I believe.
It is. Yeah.
In terms of said winter arc, essentially it's a gaining phase, it's a bulk. So,
Yeah.
Let's
stop
start-
calling it a winter arc. Actually.
yeah. So I like it. It's good for the good for the algo. So let's start with like setting up the timeline. What are your recommendations? Duration, when to start? Let's crack on with that.
So I'd say if the whole winter arc is to
Didn't need quote marks, man.
build muscle over this winter and then diet, wanting to be lean for summer, the duration should be as long as you physically can to still give yourself time to get lean for said day in summer.
Yeah.
So how many months is that? I can't even.
Well, I mean, let's call summer June. You want to be in shape by June.
yeah,
So you've got January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months before then. You might want 3 months before June to get
Yeah.
rid of some body fat. So that's what
March.
January, April, May. Yeah, March, April, May.
Yeah, so you've got
The diet.
October, November, December, January, February.
Yeah, so you got 5
5
months.
months. Yeah, okay.
Pretty good timeline
Yeah,
actually.
you can definitely make substantial
To basically start now.
progress.
I guess the first decision is actually should you start now, which we've been over in another pod.
Yeah.
So probably go back to watch that pod if you're unsure whether you should bulk or cut.
Brief
But
overview: if you're fat or a little bit fat, maybe think about pulling back and then push up.
Yeah.
If you're not that fat, crack on.
Go for it. Yeah. I got that message recently, didn't I?
Yesterday, yeah.
Don't know if he wants me to name drop, but he basically, lad, sent me over some photos and asked for some insight whether he should cut now or continue bulking throughout the winter. And actually, I suggested to him to cut now because you've got 3 months now going up till Christmas, which is realistically, you're not going to lose weight across Christmas.
No.
So you got 3 months now. If you are a little bit chunky and you're kind of going, I've probably only got another month or two of bulking, then you're probably better off pulling it off now so you've still got some time.
Back into gaming
pre-summer.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's say you're not fat. You're setting up a gaining phase. That gives you a good 5 months to get started.
Yep.
So what are you doing from a setting it up perspective, setting some goals for said gaining phase?
I think a lot of people again see this like, my winter arc, I want to get to 90 kilos, let's say. I think putting a body weight goal sometimes is actually a little bit, especially when it's 5 months down the line, is a little bit, what's the word, like vague?
Arbitrary?
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Because I think if you're really just pushing for a number on the scale, you can do that pretty easily.
Yeah.
And again, things are just going to get pretty sloppy.
And usually that number is like a whole number as well.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go, I'm going to get to 90, I'm going to get to 80, I'm going to get to 100.
Yeah.
When actually you should probably reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
See how long you've got and then set out a rough plan of action in terms of the rate of gain that you want to gain at.
Yeah, so if you've got 5 months, for example, I'd say if I was to just give someone like a figure off the top of my head now, I'd say between like 5 to 7 kilos.
Yeah.
5 to like 8 kilos.
I mean, if you look at the data for, the question is how much muscle can I build in a gaining phase without getting super fat? It's usually about 0.5% to 1% a month. I tend to like to go a bit higher up on that scale. So 1% a month is usually, I think, pretty ideal
good,
if you're a natural at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Which pretty much everyone is that's watching this, I presume.
Well, we might have someone.
Maybe we're just attracting the enhanced guys. We do look pretty enhanced, to be fair. So, so yeah, let's say you're 80 kilos and you got 5 months. 1% would be 0.8 times by 5, 8, 16, 24. 4 kilos, 5 kilos so if you're 80 kilos.
Yeah.
Boom, easy peasy. So that's your rate of gain kind of set out, at least with a rough idea. But now obviously, in terms of going through that phase then, again, you don't want to just be arbitrary with the rate of gain or set a random number, because if you're still getting really, really strong, then...
Yeah, it's a toughie because like it is so person dependent.
Yeah.
Like someone could probably gain like, let's say 10 kilos in that time. But because their training's been so good, nutrition's been so good, and they're like nailing every single variable, they can probably get away with that.
Yeah.
But again, for some other people, it might be a case where they can only put 3 kilos on.
Yeah.
Without getting too soft before they diet. So it's
hard to give recommendations because it is so individual, but to not overcomplicate it. Like if you do just gain perfectly at 1% a month, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a good spot.
Like that's absolutely fine. And then if you are wanting to diet for summer after that, like you've gained 5 kilos, you could do it in 5 weeks if you wanted to, which is easy peasy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the rate of gain set out on the timeline.
I think one of the next biggest things is just setting your training straight away. Like set the split you're going to run and literally stick with that for the 5 months. Like there's no need to be changing every single month. Like you're going to get a lot more benefit from choosing a split at the start and just running with it.
Yeah.
And even in that split, your exercises, if you can, keep them the same for 5 months. Like I know in our gaining phases, we'll do that. Like when we both get back to gaining, like when's it, in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Those movements will probably stay in for like 12 months.
Basically as long as possible.
Yeah. If there's no need to change them, don't change them.
Yeah. The analogy I always like to use is if you get a right-handed person and you ask them to write with their left hand, they're going to be absolutely terrible at it. that's like starting a new exercise. But if you practice and practice and practice, you gradually get better and better at writing with your left hand to the point where you're really efficient and you can fight you can write really fast, fight really fast. So that would be like sticking with an exercise for ages. You get so good at it that you can write faster, aka build muscle better.
Yeah, you're going to progress better.
Yeah. So, and also, it's too much effort, like making a new training program and making a new split every month. It takes so long.
Yeah, you're almost taking like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and you can just keep taking steps forward.
Yeah. So in terms of gaining phase then, I think a good topic from a training perspective is, what do you actually need to focus on? Let's proper dumb it down. I was listening to a Diary of a CEO podcast, and he was talking to Dr. Mike Israel,
Yes. Bald, and he's bald, isn't he?
Yeah. Bald, like, looks quite noises. Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamstring curl video is so funny. What the hell?
Right, Rocky. That's ideal.
Rocky's digging a hole in the floor.
So in terms of setting up a gaining phase and actually what you're trying to do, how do you actually build muscle? What's the keys?
I'd say the most important thing, and I say this to all of my clients, is you want to be taking some form of progression from every session, every set, whether that be like, again, people get so caught up in that they have to be going heavier every single week. Like, that's going to be good, but you can add reps to the same load, or you could even just have an increase in your accuracy, which again is going to give you a better stimulus. So
that's and this is where it kind of comes into like, okay, what are you actually trying to do? Are you trying to build muscle, which hopefully you are if you're watching this,
or you're just trying to get
strong? Because there is a difference. If you want to build muscle, the thing that your muscle knows is tension.
Yeah.
So that's like,
know what weight it's lifting.
No, it has no idea. So like if you're training chest, for example, and you're doing a cable fly where the weight's all the way out here, you could lose like 4 kilos and get a load of tension for your pec. Whereas if you're doing a press, you might need, for the same amount of tension, because you're so close in, you might need like 20 kilos to get the same. Yeah. So think about tension as opposed to
load
necessarily just getting super strong. Not that getting super strong would be a bad thing.
You look at everyone who's ridiculously strong, especially as a natty. People who do the hard movements and are really strong,
they're probably pretty big.
Are usually pretty big.
Yeah.
And if you're not, but you are strong, then that's where you should probably be looking at that and saying, okay, like I'm moving a load, but am I actually getting anything from moving this load?
Yeah. So you've got your rate of gain. You've got the main thing, which is getting stronger. Is there anything else you do within training throughout a gaining phase?
Could talk about like volume.
Yeah.
In terms of like escalating volume throughout the phase.
Yeah. So when you finish a diet, your volume is going to be pretty low, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can overcomplicate this.
Yeah.
For sure.
So overcomplicated.
Because again, that primary thing is getting stronger, whilst maintaining good form, good tension, etc. Yeah. That's going to naturally drive your volume up anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be getting stronger, lifting more weight. Like that total volume is going to go up anyway. So I do think like loads of people, especially beginners to intermediates, probably don't even need to think about it.
No.
Because you're getting that progress anyway.
It's more just like if you're more advanced, and you've got like specific muscle groups you want to bring up, things like that, then that's probably when it's going to come into play.
Yeah, so realistically, if you're not a year into your training right now, just get a program, have set volume of maybe 6 to 10 sets per muscle group per week, and just get strong
with it.
Just get really strong.
Keep going.
And also try to train each muscle group, especially the smaller ones, like 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Bigger ones 1 to 2 times a week. Just get strong.
Yeah.
And you'll get big.
That's the thing as well, where people see this low volume approach. Like, yeah, it's good. It's obviously what we sort of follow.
Yeah.
But I think, for example, like they'll see someone doing a 1 set on a hip hinge, and then they're like, oh, so I only need to do 1 set on like a bicep curl.
Yeah.
When realistically, you can recover from a lot more.
Yeah.
Something like a bicep curl compared to a bigger movement. Like
Well, it's tough. That all comes from JP.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because bro, Jesus.
It's the bins.
Sorry, that scared me. Yeah, he's pretty. I don't really look at his stuff that much because it kind of annoys me.
So the thing is, he is really good, right?
Yeah.
But he also knows that in an Instagram caption or an Instagram video, you can't explain the whole story.
Yeah, so he's very.
So what you see in his captions and a lot of others, it's like he'll put out what he's doing, and he will say, "Don't copy me. You need more context. If you want more context, go to my site," which obviously you got to pay for, but that's what I get it.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to look at that, and even though he's saying don't copy me, it's
People
like,
will.
well, I might as well copy him. Like, surely it's working.
Yeah.
But he's like, probably gets up to 270 pounds or whatever,
exactly.
whatever that is in kilos.
Yeah.
He's a massive bloke, and you actually shouldn't copy him. When you see these advanced lifters saying don't copy what I'm doing, it's actually don't do it.
They're not trying to trick you.
No, it's like trade secrets. Nah, don't copy me, mate. It's like if you're looking at a marathon runner, like if you were looking at Kipchoge. Come on, you must know who he is.
Is he a marathon runner? I'm guessing he's
the bro that beat the marathon world record, sub 2 hours, I think.
Is he from Kenya?
Is it sub 2? I don't know.
I've got no idea.
Basically, he runs very fast.
Okay. It's Guy Waterhouse.
Yeah, it's because he'll be watching this thing. But Guy Kipchoge Waterhouse. But no, you wouldn't look. It's a lot easier to see this, and you wouldn't look at a marathon runner's training schedule that's going to be in the Olympics and go, well, that's clearly what I want to do.
Yeah, I need to do
or what
that.
I need to do to make progress. Generally, if you're a beginner, you could train 2 times a week for 25 minutes.
Yeah, and you're going to make progress.
And get really good progress.
Yeah, as long as your intensity's there and accuracy, you're going to be completely sound.
Anything above that would just be like, okay, you might get a 1%.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's for the time commitment, it literally wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah.
So don't copy the big dogs. But back to what we were saying with volume is if you are beginner to intermediate, you can probably keep it stationary and just get stronger.
Rock bottom. Yeah. Just keep progressing.
And then if you are still getting stronger and you are finding that you can recover really easily and you kind of want to take that next step up, that's when you can start manipulating volume to try and push things on. I think this kind of comes back to like the whole setting your goals at the start. Like what you're actually trying to grow here is probably what's going to influence the volume differences.
Yeah. For most people, it should just probably be everywhere, like a balanced growth. But again, like for us, we've got more specific things we want to grow, like delts, lats, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So our volume will be drive more towards that.
Yeah.
Than other body parts, but
yeah, I've started doing like splitting things up a lot more into like those 8-week blocks that we talked about.
Yeah, and just looking to push it.
So for the intermediate to advanced, then you've been lifting for a good few years. You've made that first chunk of progress. What would you do with volume going through the gaining phase if you are splitting up into like 8-week blocks? Say, is there any like formula that you can try and give to help?
Like an actual,
I don't know, just some rough guidance.
The way I do it is when I think obviously you need to be looking at the training, and if it is progressing and you are recovering, then yes. But you should also look at, okay, if they're a month into the gaining phase and they've had an increase of, let's say, like over that time, their carbs have gone up by 50, 75, 100 grams, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They are a little bit softer. Generally, your recoverable volume is going to be more.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of like every single week just adding sets. What I'd say is get the most from as little as possible.
Yeah.
When you've pushed food and you are a little bit softer and you feel like you can recover, trial it.
Yeah.
But don't go balls to the wall and be adding like 5-10 sets a week.
Yeah.
like just be stupidly slow with it.
Yeah, the other thing I think is like you can't just go, okay, start of gaining phase low, end of gaining phase high volume. It just doesn't end up working like that. You'll go through periods of time where you're like, oh, I'm recovering so well here. You can scale it up, and like if you feel great and you've got the energy, like just do another set. But I know when I got like really heavy, and obviously there's like rugby and stuff going on as well, but like because I was very strong at certain movements,
they're going to be more taxing.
Yeah, like an RDL. If I was to do like 3 sets of that, I would be absolutely battered.
Yeah, you would be in the bin.
And I was eating 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
So there's probably not, again, it's not one size fits all, unfortunately, but okay, look at your current volume. Are you recovering? Are you sore for the next session? If the answer's no, I'm not sore for the next session, and yes, I'm recovering and still progressing, then consider adding an extra little one.
Yeah.
And that's a good formula to follow.
Also, then don't be scared to, if you feel like your progressions aren't as good in the gym when you do that volume escalation, don't be scared to then pull back a little bit. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's worth just trying and testing.
Yeah, and I mean, we've done that, haven't we? It's like we even from a like set perspective in terms of the total amount of reps you're doing, back in the day we'd be like, okay, we can grow from 5 to 30, so I'm going to do 5 to 30 for every single muscle group. But now it's more like, what do I think feels good for that
best
individual muscle group?
Yeah, the more you do this process,
you just get better and understand it, don't you?
It really is. It is simple, but it sounds complicated.
I think there's just a lot of moving parts that you can move, but you can also just keep it stationary and you'll probably do pretty good.
Even if you were advanced and you didn't escalate your volume at all, you just carried on getting, you're still going to progress.
Yeah.
It's just very minutiae things that you can do.
Yeah.
That could potentially benefit you slightly.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty good for training. In terms of nutrition, we obviously laid out that rate of gain. But people will be coming into that, maybe they'll start off good and then they'll stop gaining, and then I can't gain muscle, can't gain weight, can't gain muscle. It's impossible. It's just not possible for me.
I can't eat any more food.
Yeah. So again, dumb it right down. What are you doing from a nutrition perspective to keep gaining, keep putting on muscle?
Kind of ties in with the setting out your training split at the start. I think just setting out a good routine with your nutrition from the get-go is going to be the most beneficial thing you can do. Because if you're someone who's saying you can't get your food in, you're probably that kind of person who's giving yourself like a 5-hour window to get 4,000 calories in. It's like, it's not going to be very ideal. So try and make your food window, for example, as big as possible. Get up early. Sleep obviously like late, but to the point where you're still getting adequate sleep in, and that's going to give you a very, very big window to actually get the food in. I think that's a good start of what people should be doing, is routine. Try and keep your meal timings the same, things like that. Foods that digest well, and just probably being, I think we covered this in the dieting one, like just being a bit smarter with your food choices. Yeah.
Covered it a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, like as blunt as it is, you are going to get to points where you've just got to get it done.
Just
do it. Like no one's going to do it for you. You have to actually want to do it. And I can think of so many times where I've been sat there looking at like a bowl of Cocoa Pops thinking, how am I going to eat this?
It sounds completely ridiculous, doesn't it?
Just got to, if you really do want to progress, then sometimes it's just got to be done. But even things like that, like if you're really struggling with a meal, swap it out for something that you're going to enjoy more.
You know what I see a lot is people saying, like, in a gaining phase, you need to cut out all of the like interesting stuff, eat really bland, and just eat it. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I don't. Like, the whole physique development thing is like longevity and being able to do it over a long time. It's like when we say the 100% on, 100% off, like an on-off switch.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not making meals that you enjoy and they're bland and they taste like shit, you're not going to stick to it. So what are you gaining from
I don't
doing
know.
that or telling someone to do that?
Saw someone post a reel about it, and I was like, he said, don't be thinking you're a Michelin star chef and trying to make your food nice. It's like, well, you could try a little bit.
You don't have to try and be a Michelin star.
Yeah.
Like, just make it palatable for you. And
I'm not trying to be Gordon Ramsay out here, but like, use seasoning.
Yeah,
And
me.
It's okay. You can make it nice.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, you know, when I see people in their off season, they've got like 200 grams of cream of rice, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is awful." Like, just have something different. You don't have to have cream of rice.
I honestly don't know where that comes from. And then you see it the other side of things as well. Like, in a diet, you shouldn't make things nice because then you're going to want more of it. It's like,
to be fair, I actually do kind of agree with that.
But what does that, like, you still season your food, right?
I put like salt and pepper on my chicken, but that's because at the minute I actually enjoy that out of any other seasoning. Still trying to make it nice. Like,
but the equation there is like, okay, I've not got that much food. I'm not going to waste 100 calories on like tomato sauce or anything like that, because why would you? It tastes nice anyway.
In a gaining phase, use those things to help you out. As long as it's not like the macros aren't like absolutely ridiculous, then do it. But I would say I still think your food quality should be as high as possible. I don't just be going and eating.
It's easy to slip down the rabbit hole, isn't it?
I mean, like we were on about it the other day in the car, weren't we? Like when we were at school and we first started getting into like bulking, I was eating like 2 sausage baguettes, 3 chocolate muffins, chocolate concrete. It's like, okay, it worked, but I probably felt like shit. My training probably wasn't as good as it could be. And in general, just not a good mix.
That is always directly correlated to the people going back to right at the start that say, I'm going to be 100 kilos in X amount of months.
Fixated on a scale weight, which means it literally means nothing.
So that's food quality and kind of setting out your routine properly. I was going to say, go into the timeline of said gaining phase. Right at the start, you need to know how many calories you need to eat to actually to gain that. So right at the start of the gaining phase, aka right now, if you are going to be going into this, take a week to just understand where things are at. So track your food
with a random figure.
Track your food, track your body weight. If you want a rough idea, there's actually a calorie calculator on our website,
or link in bio.
Link in the bio.
Done for you.
You don't even have to think about it, right? So there's a calorie calculator that will tell you your maintenance calories as a rough idea. Eat that for a week, track your body weight, and see where it goes. If you maintain weight, then you know that's your maintenance calories, or the same thing for if you gain weight or lose weight. So let's say you found your maintenance calories. The first step is then to get into the surplus to gain it that 1% a month. Which again, it depends on what your current body weight is now, but as a rough guideline, adding like 300 to 500 calories is probably a good starting point. And then again, keep weighing yourself, see what happens.
It's just a rinse and repeat process.
Easy peasy. So then you're going through, you've found your surplus, you're going to get initial increase in body weight, and then eventually that body weight's going to taper off and stop increasing. So then, like Leo said, it's rinse and repeat. It's probably going to be every 4 to 8 weeks that body weight's going to taper off. You need to add in more food, add in a little bit more food, add a little bit more food. In no time, you'll be at that 5-month mark, eating probably 1,000 to 1,500 calories more.
Just as much as you can more.
And then just keep doing that until you get to the end of the gaining phase, basically.
And then you've set yourself up perfectly. To go into the diet.
The only other thing you might add is right at the end of the gaining phase. I don't think this is necessary, to be honest, all of the time, but I know some people like to do a maintenance block to solidify the muscle or whatever.
That, don't they? Yeah, a lot of people do.
I don't really see too much point in that.
Like, it's not something that's going to completely change everything.
And also, okay, you're gaining at 1% a month. For a 100 kilo person, that would be a kilo a month. If you did a maintenance block for 2 weeks, that would be half a kilo.
Yeah.
It's basically maintenance anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not eating in that big of a surplus anyway. You're only just above maintenance. So
yeah, like I don't think you need to waste those weeks, do you?
No.
So yeah, that's kind of the gaining phase laid out. Overview: training, get into a routine. Continue doing that routine, get stronger. If you need to manipulate volume to push certain muscle groups up, add a few sets. Nutrition, set the baseline, increase when you need to every couple of weeks when your body weight stalls. And if you do those 3 things, or 2 things, like you're probably going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Then you hashtag wham when the summer comes around.
Right, that's part 1 done.
Part 1 done. Yeah.
Have a quick wee break.
Yeah, go ahead. And then we'll get into some questions.
Question time.
Oh, that wasn't too boring. Man was feeling low energy stuff.
I was literally sat there halfway through. She felt like I was going to fall into the chair and just die.
Right, let's crack in. Question time. Rocky's got a question.
Right.
Let's pop into it. I think we've got a couple, maybe 5, 6 questions.
I've got.
If there's any
1,
whack
2,
ones, you can just leave it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 questions.
That's a PR.
I've not actually checked my Instagram, but I'm currently recording on my phone, so we'll save them if there is any.
Ideal. Should have had a look before. Thank you to everyone who asked a question, by the way. It is very, very helpful.
Thanks,
Gives us
guys.
some stuff to talk about. HH is pulling through at the minute, so big up.
Thanks, HH, man.
We'll go in like time order from the first question asked to the latest. So, first one. This
Wait,
is like,
are they really rogue?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich? No.
No, definitely not.
No, otherwise it wouldn't be called a hot dog, would it? It'd be called a sausage sandwich.
Definitely not.
Completely different. And that's from Harrison Jammo on Instagram.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between a hot dog and a sausage sandwich, so therefore it's not a sandwich.
Just a stupid question, to be honest, mate, if you're asking this. Just
You don't need that.
Think about what you put in before you ask it. Is that one done?
Yeah, there's nothing more to say on that.
Although I do love a hot dog, to be fair. And
I've not had a hot dog.
Sandwich.
To be
Right,
fair,
if you could choose one, hot dog or sausage sandwich. I'm talking like a proper English sausage, British sausage sandwich that's like a...
I prefer a sausage sandwich.
Yeah, I do. With
That
loads
being
of
said,
dirty sausages.
I don't mind you know when you have a barbecue and you make a hot dog, but it's actually a sausage sandwich because it's like normal sausages.
In a hot dog bun.
Yeah, it's just not got the like, what even is a hot dog? Like, you know, the red sausages.
No, but that is, the barbecue is still a hot dog.
Do you think?
I think the hot dog is made. I love how this is like going to be a quick answer. The hot dog is made from the hot dog bun.
The bun creates
I reckon.
the
Obviously, you
hot
get
dog,
hot dog sausages, but I swear they're called. You know, if you were to get the buns, they'd be
yeah,
called
hot dog buns. I agree, actually. So
a hot dog is definitely not a sandwich.
no, if it's in that shaped bun,
Yeah.
just like a burger isn't a sandwich.
No, it's a burger.
It's a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, burger's not a sandwich.
No, it's burger, yeah. I'm thinking that a sandwich is like, you know, you got your Hovis 50-50 and you're whacking some ham in there.
Yeah. Sandwich is flat bread.
Yeah. Not like a bap.
No.
This has been more complicated. But I tell you what, I do love you know, the fake hot dog sausages. They're like plastic.
You like them?
I love them.
Oh, I can't
could
stand
eat them
it.
out of tin, mate. Absolutely banging. Banging, mate. Haha. This is a good one. HH. If you could I asked this on the BSB podcast.
Board shorts and banter?
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, so they better have answered it. If you could trade one from each other's bodies, what would they be?
One what? Like
one thing.
Probably skin. I don't want to burn.
I'm going to say HL's bunda.
Cheers, mate. I'd take your skin because it's pretty freaking OP in the sun.
It's quite OP in the
sun. Cannot beat that. The anti-sun cream protocol, it just like doesn't affect you. So
goated.
yeah.
Nice.
So you take my ass rather than my height.
I wouldn't want to be your height.
No, you
No
probably want to be
offence.
like
you wouldn't want to be
6'2".
my height. I just want to be like 6 foot.
Yeah.
I feel like Fred's height or Guy's height is probably the optimal height. But again,
I agree.
Like you can't change these things, guys. So
No. Not worth thinking about.
yeah, it's not worth worrying about.
Brackets, I'm really insecure.
Yeah, you hate life. What? Opinion Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Yeah, what is that?
So have you not seen anything about it?
No.
So Ozempic is a weight loss drug that's going around
really?
quite a lot at the minute, especially in America.
I've not heard anything about that.
And a lot of celebrities have been taking it to lose weight.
Is this like a new... Is it new?
Yeah.
I have not heard anything about this.
So
Take it away.
let me preface this opinion by I've not looked into it that much. However, if you look at ignoring just Ozempic, if you look at the data on pretty much all cause mortality, right? So this is like basically if you do this, do you have a less likelihood of dying early? Just from losing weight is it's like the OP thing you can do from losing weight. It pretty much helps everything. No, so just ignoring Ozempic, just losing weight is pretty much going to help everything.
Yeah.
So unless Ozempic has some outrageous side effects, then taking Ozempic, if it's going to help you lose weight and you can't lose weight without it because maybe you've got really high appetite, you struggle with motivation or whatever it might be, it's probably not a bad idea if Ozempic's not got very many side effects.
What's it made up of?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
There's got
but
to be
essentially, it's an appetite suppressant. Essentially,
right, okay.
So
It can't be that bad for you then, surely.
Yeah. So there's some weight loss drugs that obviously have bigger side effects. From what I've seen, I don't think it has that many bad side effects.
Okay.
But with anything like this, there's always going to be like a push and a pull.
Yeah.
You can't get something for nothing. Yeah. So I think there is some slightly negative side effects. But generally, if you're fat or obese, you take Ozempic and you end up not obese, net is probably going to be positive. So that's point number one.
Surely for someone who's not like morbidly obese there.
Yeah. So this is where it comes into an issue. People that are at a good weight take Ozempic to be like, cover model thin. And that's when you actually cross that line of losing weight is good and it ends up being losing weight is worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So in that sense, like, you got to be the right person to actually have it. But James Smith, the fitness guy, he said he tried it.
Really?
And he said he didn't really notice anything in particular over the first few days. But then on the second day or third day, he just found himself like naturally not wanting to finish his plate.
Really?
Or he'd have like half an apple and he'd be like, oh, he just put it down.
Shit,
and then he was like,
now.
That's what it's doing. That it's like appetite suppressant.
Yeah, it's like it's a binge suppressant, not even a binge.
Essentially, yeah. So I think
I'd say it's a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's for the right person.
If it's used for the right person, I think it can be good.
So what? Sorry, go on, carry on.
No, go on.
So why is it made like headlines now?
So I think the longitudinal data on this, a lot of the time what you see, right, is if you don't take any drugs to help weight loss, a lot of the time in these studies, they sort of go, okay, you've lost weight and you've got to your goal weight. And then essentially by X amount of time later, they're usually done over 12 months or 2 years. Across that time, a lot of the time, the people in these studies will just end up back at their previous weight or somewhere around that. So it's like, that's where people go in, a calorie deficit doesn't work because you always get this rebound.
Yeah, bounce.
But that's just because people aren't being consistent afterwards. Like, you can absolutely do it. But if you're not focusing on it, which granted, some people probably don't want to focus on their nutrition their whole life, then like, it is kind of true that losing weight tends to result in you gaining some back. It's quite hard to avoid.
That's where you've got again, you got to make it sustainable for you.
Yeah, you just got to make it work,
Yeah.
and you do have to keep focusing on it. Like
Yeah.
you got to learn
But
to
you don't have
be
to
better.
be like anal with
No.
it. You could just be conscious
Yeah,
and make sensible choices.
that's why I always say a positive weight loss journey is a change of identity as well,
Yeah.
because you're just going to put it back on. If you're still the fat person in your head
Yeah.
that doesn't have the routine and doesn't have the consistency and the motivation and the change lifestyle of actually going to the gym and enjoying it,
Yeah.
you're just going to put it back on.
Yeah,
It's like, you might as well not done it.
It's like an endless cycle, isn't it? Really?
So anyway, they're the positives of Ozempic is that looking over, I could be wrong here in terms of timeline, but essentially long term, it's showing that you can actually maintain that weight loss a lot longer than other weight loss drugs have been before, which is obviously a good thing.
Okay. Can you even get it in this country?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Where do you go to get it? Does it have to be like prescribed?
I know you can get it in America. I'm not sure about here.
Interesting. Very
But
interesting.
yeah, good question. I think generally it's probably positive as long as you're the right person to be taking it.
Yeah.
And like some people will say it's cheating. Like it's not right. You know, you could just diet normally, but if it works,
for some people, it's needed.
Yeah, and
like you got to look past this, like, oh, it's cheating sort of thing, because for some people it's like a matter of life or death.
Literally.
Like they might actually need it.
Yeah.
And again, like, no one should need it.
No.
But
things happen.
Some people just aren't in the right headspace to be able to diet. So that's
the only other thing I'd say is, if you take Ozempic and you lose a load of weight, you're obviously getting the benefits from the weight loss, but you're not going to necessarily be doing the training alongside
you're not building the habits to sustain that without Ozempic, whatever it's called.
Which are obviously going to come with a load of other benefits as well. Like losing weight and training, getting stronger and building muscle are kind of the hack for like life longevity.
Yeah. It's a complete mindset shift. We have spoke about this in loads of pods, haven't we? Like going to the gym, training hard, being smart with your nutrition. Is going to have such a good cross transfer and carry over into everything else you do in life.
I think it's so cool when you see like an 85-year-old steaming around the park on a jog or something.
Yeah, like,
I want to be that, bro. That's so good.
But I think we're now at the point where we will be that person.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that when I get to like 50, 60, I'll still be in like what you'd class as like elite shape for that age. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's sick. Like my dad does it. He's like doing half marathons and like half Ironmans and all that. It's like 55.
Builds the old mental resilience.
It does. So yeah, that's Ozempic. Cool. Quite an interesting topic.
Right. Next question. HH again. So he's asked another two here, but they're sort of I think he's maybe put like, he's put it and then sort of expanded it. So at first he put favourite season, that was it. And then he put one season in for the rest of your life. You get salt and pepper already.
Wait, favourite season? As in favourite seasoning?
Oh, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot.
No, I don't know. You might be right. You might have like misspelt it.
No, I don't. No, he's...
Favourite season, one seasoning for the rest
of your life. I think that's two separate questions.
Yeah.
You've said that. Yeah. Favourite season? It's got to be summer.
Obviously.
Like, I was on about this the other day to, I think it was like Elliot or Alfie or someone. I do enjoy the thought of winter, but when it gets to it and I'm in it, I get fed up of it.
Yeah, feeling like a bit of sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain aspects like Christmas,
Halloween,
having a fire on.
Yeah, like we were
getting in
earlier.
your hoodie.
Yeah, getting in your hoodie and just sitting in front of the fire and just doing work. Like, it's vibes.
I do like that. When you get the fire going, you sat in the lounge.
Oh,
that is really nice.
And also, that leads us on Christmas pod, by the way, guys.
I'm so excited.
It's going to go hard.
Maybe we should like light a Christmas cake there and then not eat it because they're green.
I reckon we do a food challenge in the pod.
Yeah.
How much food can we eat in the pod?
We're just going to be chewing throughout the whole pod.
Answering questions, though. So you've got to be... Oh, no.
Still cooking. We're all good.
So we've got to sort of answer questions. Hopefully by this point we'll have quite a lot of questions.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
That will be, like, really good. That'll be really fun.
Maybe we could do a Halloween... Halloween special. Oh, no, you're still going to be in prep,
Yeah,
man.
I'm still going to be...
No.
When's Halloween?
It's 31st, is it? Or 29th? Something like that. It's the end of October.
No, I'll be home.
Well, yeah. Oh, we
I
could
feel
do
like
like
that
a...
might be like my first week post-prep. That could be freaking awesome.
We could do like a Sweeties special.
Yeah, I get back on Wednesday the 30th. I think Halloween's the 31st.
Why don't we order some stuff from the SUPS website? And like all the sweeties.
Yeah, why don't we just... We'll go to the shops. We'll buy loads of Halloween.
Go to Boss Man.
It's got to be Halloween-based.
I'm going to wear a
packaging.
mask for the whole pod.
Yeah, we've got to eat with masks on. So we've got that for Halloween. And then we've got Christmas as well.
I'm excited for that.
Shit, yeah, that's just 2 excuses for us to just eat loads of food. Can't wait for that. We can even go to Krispy Kreme's and get like, the Halloween special donuts. We're going to spend so much money on this pod.
Business expense, something like that.
But yeah, favourite season?
Seasoning.
Summer.
Season,
Just
summer.
answer the
Easy,
question.
yep.
Summer, but don't mind the thought of winter.
Yeah, especially if you sprinkle in a few holidays.
Yeah, autumn is mid. Like
Yeah,
now,
it's so mid. It's literally been raining for 48 hours. Favourite seasoning for food? Salt and pepper
Yeah,
included.
you get salt and pepper. I was going to say, right now I am just really enjoying salt and pepper. I haven't used the seasoning in ages, not even from a calorie thing. I did at the start of prep, but now I just... Salt and pepper, and then I almost overcook the chicken so it's browned off.
Get a nice little brown in, yeah.
And it's so nice. I can't see myself swapping. I know I will, but I can't see
I don't
myself
know,
swapping.
I've done it before, like proper trying to create these different seasonings.
It never slaps.
But generally, if you're just seasoning a meat and it's just meat plus seasoning, it's like fairly average. If you're doing like a dish, like a fajita wraps, then you're obviously going to season it with fajita seasoning,
But you have all the stuff then, you have like marinade. And
yeah.
I just think on a whole, seasoning is quite overrated.
Yeah. Unless you're trying to be
like cinnamon's nice.
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah.
If you put it on like oats or something. But again, even then, I'm like...
It's alright.
I'd probably get pretty fed up with that.
Yeah.
But if I was going to give one for my meat, for let's say chicken, you know the brand, I'm pretty sure they're in every supermarket. They're just doing like the little...
Schwartz, is it like...
It might be Schwartz,
something
something
like
like that. They do a southern fried chicken one.
Yeah, I've had that.
That is really nice, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's one that I probably could stick with for quite a while, but...
Yeah. In my uni flat, one of the girls had this like Caribbean seasoning.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, and I don't know where she got it from, but it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was like orange, and it just it slapped.
Yeah. That old El Paso do good ones.
Yeah, but then you pay like £2 for a pack of seasoning.
Yeah, and it's gone in like 2 days. It's like,
yeah.
So salt and pepper is probably just the go-to go.
Yeah. Can you class like I don't know chicken with tikka masala sauce as seasoning?
It's not really seasoning, is it?
What?
Yeah. So what's your answer? What's your favourite seasoning?
Fajita.
Fajita seasoning.
Or taco seasoning is good.
Yeah. Okay. Got one from your
Dan Lovell,
client, Big Dan, who is actually really fucking tall.
Yeah.
Saw him in the gym a few weeks
He
ago.
is tall, isn't he?
I went first thing to do cardio, and he was on the cables. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's massive. What's the ideal rest period between sets? Does it depend what you're looking to gain?
Dan, I might message you about this, give you some more detail. I think rather than specifying, in fact, I'll specify a rest period, but then give some context. So if you're doing a small muscle group, biceps, side delts, triceps, anything like that, you can get away with a shorter rest period. So it's probably 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 3 minutes. Yeah. If you're doing a big movement, like a leg press, RDL, a squat, that's going to be at the other end of the spectrum where you might need like 5 minutes in between sets. And then the middle ground is like a press or a pull down.
Yeah.
Probably taking 3 minutes for them.
Just sort of go when you think you're ready.
Yeah, so that's kind of the context. Like, rather than having a set time,
don't give yourself set times.
Yeah, more think about what's actually going on. So what do you need in place to get into your next set? You want your heart rate to be down. You want any like major soreness to have gone from that set. And you want your breathing rate to be back down to normal. Yeah. Once you've ticked off those 3, you're probably ready to crack on.
Yeah.
And remember, the goal is always, how can I just perform as well as I can in that
In
following
the
set?
set,
If you need a little bit more time, then you can take more time.
Yeah. I'm guessing for some people that could be quite beneficial, especially if their sessions need to be, like, obviously for us, we can sort of take as long as we like,
Yeah.
to a degree. We don't like to take the piss. But for some people, obviously, they're on quite a strict time schedule. So,
Yeah.
like you said, for your bigger movements, try and take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then on your smaller movements, like, I know for a fact there's sometimes between like bicep curl sets where I'll just take a minute and go again.
Yeah, I remember the other day we were doing
I was
curls.
like,
I looked over and you were just like staring at the mirror like
I was
this.
like, right, I'm just gonna go again.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I can't remember. Yeah,
Right.
performance focus.
Yeah, just
Stay strong. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you are like thinking, I need to save time, try to save time in other areas of the training first,
yeah,
rather than saving it in by just rushing your warm set and then doing a bad set after. So save it by supersetting some of your smaller exercises, or quickening your warm up rest time. So rather than resting a minute in between warm ups, just rest like 5-10 seconds.
and just stop yapping in the gym.
Yeah. In fact, I did that the other day for legs and got through it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, bro, literally.
So I speed ran it. Speed run the warm ups, get ready for your set, do your set, boom, boom, you're
As
in
long
and
as
out.
your set's still productive,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Just crack on. Final one. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I don't even think I'm pretty sure he followed me yesterday. So
Oh, that's good.
his name is Elias.
Tutu Elias. Sounds like some sort of
I'm pretty
Greek.
sure he's Greek.
Is it?
He's Greek.
Wow,
yeah.
what a guess.
And yeah, Greek and Cyprus, but he's living in the UK, so
Wow.
maybe he does watch the pod.
Can't believe I just guessed that. Maybe it's pretty obvious from Elias.
Yeah, probably, mate. He just said, how many cals are you on? So currently, I am on, bearing in mind I'm on prep, training day 1,932, rest day 1,698, so 1,900, 1,700. That's very recent. The lowest they have been on the prep is 1,450 on a training day, and then like 1,200 on a rest day. And that was awful, to be honest. Not enjoyable. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Mine are, in terms of the numbers, I actually don't know.
You just sort of go with the flow.
I've got a meal plan that I just follow and eat, and
That's what I do.
Stops me thinking about it.
That's what I do. Just meal plan.
I think I'm being fairly aggressive with the diet at the minute.